Now for colostomy and ileostomy. These two are surgical procedures that create an opening in the abdominal wall to allow for passage of stool. This is done in order to bypass a blockage or a diseased portion of the bowel. We're basically creating a rectum inside the abdomen by cutting the intestines and placing an opening as a stoma on the surface of the abdomen. Indicated typically after GI surgery and even for inflammatory diseases like UC, ulcerative colitis, where we have bleeding ulcers inside the intestine. So an ileostomy or colostomy is created to help bypass the areas causing the trouble. And even for Crohn's disease, which we call Crown's disease, with a bunch of lumps and bumps like jewels of a crown all over the GI tract, causing massive inflammation and pain. And lastly, even for colon cancer, where surgery is done to remove the cancer part inside the colon. We're basically cutting the colon out like cutting out a pipe in a drainage system. Eventually, we're going to reattach the healthy parts of the colon back together. But before we do this, we have to give the bowel some rest. So a temporary colostomy bag is used to give that bowel rest. Now, the main difference between an ileostomy and a colostomy is simply the location. So looking at our chart here, we see the anatomy of the large intestine called the colon. And we have three parts to the small intestine. DJI. D for duodenum, J for jejunum, and I is for ileum. So in a colostomy, we have an opening in the colon, so we have brown feces that is firm. And in an ileostomy, we have an opening in the ileum of the right lower quadrant. And the key sign is green-yellow liquid. Since these gastric juices haven't gone around through the colon yet, and so it's not brown or firm. So the memory trick we use is green and yellow is for ileostomy, and brown is down for colostomy. So just think green means go for ileostomy. Since, like on a signal light, green and yellow is go, we have liquidy fluids here. And brown is down, very firm because it's down farther in the digestive tract for colostomy. Now, don't let the NCLEX trick you with sound-alike names here. Colostomy is not a colonoscopy. Colonoscopy is a camera tube that goes up the rectum to look for cancer and polyps. So just think scopy is for scope, and ostomy is for an opening. Very, very different. One is a scope or